When Dr. David Lee gave his presentation here with his team giving UGA's presentation on NBAF, one of the questions that we asked at that time was, given all the safeguards of the facility, still accidents could happen. What's the worst outcome that they could foresee? We didn't initially, well, we got the answer developed over a period of time, ending with a fairly detailed article in the local Banner Herald by Dr. Lee. But I'd be interested in your response to that question. Two possible scenarios. One, inadvertent release by a accidental carrying something out of the lab by an honest worker. And secondly, if a terrorist did manage to infiltrate the security precautions and carry something out, in terms of local impact on people or maybe national impact on the animal population?
Well, to be, I try not to talk about threats so much, but I mean, but obviously it's an incredibly important question. In my mind, I suppose one would have to say that the worst accidental outcome from this facility would be a global influenza pandemic, and that is a realistic, possibility. If a pandemic strain of influenza were to escape the lab, it is not hyperbole to say that tens of millions of people could die. That's the truth, and if they say that that's not, then I want to talk to them because, and the reason why is simply that is a particularly easily transmitted agent from person to person, and there's every reason to believe that recombinant, potentially pandemic types of flu will be handled in the lab. In a sense, it's hard to imagine anything worse than a global flu pandemic. So, a deliberate act by a terrorist, gosh, it could be that. It could also be that that if the facility were infiltrated, which is a concern that I think people have, it may manifest itself at a different time and place, and or it could here. But I think that I would, from that perspective, what I would be concerned about is really that a lot of the techniques for preparation of agents, for example, to really weaponize anthrax, your average microbiologist, even someone who works on that kind of bacteria, they don't know how to do it. There's no reason for anybody to know how to do it. And this is one of the problems with how huge our biodefense program is and the kinds of activities that it has, is that we're, in effect, relearning and spreading the knowledge of how to do these things that have no peaceful use, really. So my concern in terms of infiltration really would be the proliferation of knowledge of how to do weapons that would be better kept bottled up as tightly as possible.